Hello and welcome to a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're first time here. Today I wanted to talk about food freedom. It's something that has been a huge part of my recovery process, and I feel like it's probably one of the later steps in recovery, and I just feel like recently in the past few months that's been something I've been really feeling like I've been experiencing, this feeling of food freedom and, you know, feeling free around my food choices and what I eat, when I eat, how much I eat, like just feeling true freedom around all of that after years of feeling like I had to abide by certain rules, stick to certain schedules, and I just was not free whatsoever. I wanted to come in here and just chat about it and share some of the tips that I've been implementing and things I've discovered along my journey of being in recovery, and also just of feeling these moments of real food freedom. I just want to share my top 10 tips and steps with you guys to see if any of these resonate with you. Maybe you're currently trying to find more freedom around your food choices. Maybe try some of these steps and let me know what you think. Or if you are further in recovery and you have also experienced great moments of food freedom, comment below your tips as well and just things that have worked for you, because these are 10 things that I've come up with. There's probably more. This is what I've come up with today, and they're all things that I've done and experienced and experimented with. Here we go. I have my little iPad here. These are my 10 tips to find food freedom. Starting off with number 1, this was the first step I took in my recovery, but I also connected it as a first step you could take if you're not in recovery but you just want to find more freedom around your food choices and not feel so controlled by it. And that first step is to be consistent with your meals and be consistent with food and snacks throughout the day. I feel like a lot of times the feeling of being controlled by food comes from a place of under eating. That's not the case all the time. Definitely it can be the opposite. But if you are constantly thinking about food, constantly worrying about food, what food's going to be available, could be a telltale sign that you are under eating and not giving your body enough fuel. Even if you are maybe feeling like you're eating enough, if you're still just thinking and worrying and anxious about food, that's probably a sign that it's still not enough for your body, and your body is crying out for help and you're just not listening to it because of the stronger voice of diet culture coming in. I know this was the case for me. Really trying to shut out that diet culture voice and working on consistency with my meals. So 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus snacks. On top of that, listening to your body whenever you're hungry. If you're hungry for go back for seconds at one meal, or if you're hungry between meals, have something. Try not to go more than 3 to 4 hours without some sort of food. The process of becoming consistent with your food is your body regaining trust in you to fuel it and feed it, and it doesn't need to go into this state of stress because it's being underfed and needs to kind of hold on to all the little energy that it's getting given. Feeling my body regain trust in me at the same time while I'm regaining trust in my body. It's a scary but great feeling, and I swear it all came from just being consistent with my food. Find meals that you like, that are easy, that you enjoy, and just build meal times into your schedule. I know that life can get so busy and many people don't have time for breakfast in the morning if they're running out to work or school or something. But if you schedule it in, you can plan it. And if it's something that you really want to fix about your lifestyle and about your mental health and your physical health, make it a priority. Show that love to yourself and make your meals a priority. That's what I did, and my body's regaining trust in me and I'm regaining trust in it. So it goes both ways. My second tip to finding food freedom is identify those foods that make you stressed or anxious. These could be categorized as fear foods, but if you notice that there are certain foods in life that just kind of make you question whether you should or shouldn't eat it, or whether you want to eat it, whether you don't like it but you don't know why you don't like it, just really think with yourself and think if there are any foods out there that if you were just given the opportunity to eat it for free, you didn't have to pay anything, someone's just here, try this, what would be your reaction? Would it be oh my god, great, thanks, free food, that's so nice? Or would it be, oh no, I shouldn't eat that because it's this type of food? Or it could just be like, no, I'm literally allergic. And I just think that going through that process of thinking about what foods I was kind of leaning away from and for what reasons, and then going into my third tip is challenging those foods that maybe make you a little more stressed or anxious, or maybe are your fear foods. Challenge that and eat those foods and kind of really redefine what that food means to you, because maybe priorly you had like a negative view of it for some reason, whether it was diet culture or something somebody said about it in your past or something like that. The only way you can really truly discover what that food means to you and what it feels like for you to eat it is if you eat it and experience it and reincorporate it slowly back into your life and into your meals. So that is something I have done and I'm still working on, but that has been huge in my recovery process of just like redefining what certain foods mean to me. And honestly, I've found out some of these foods I actually do really enjoy, and they aren't harming me the way my brain was convincing me they would, and they aren't affecting me in the negative ways I thought they could. So just proving myself wrong, basically. Along with that is honoring all your cravings. That has been definitely one of the tougher ones in my recovery, and I think just accepting that some days I literally have weird cravings for certain things, and maybe it's a quote-unquote unhealthy food deemed by diet culture, and so earlier in my eating disorder I would just avoid that at all costs because that's what the world was telling me. I shouldn't eat these things. Bad things will happen to me if I eat it, and just saying shut up to all of that, really honoring that craving of whatever food I was wanting in the moment. It saves me later from then still feeling that craving and potentially eating more and just trying to fill that void in some other way, but it's never going to satisfy me as much as eating the actual craving. Doing that and really listening to my body and giving it what it's craving. Your body needs different energy for so many different reasons, and maybe you don't know why, but that's okay as long as you're just responding. Your body will do what it needs to do. You don't need to know exactly why it's sending you what certain cues for what reasons. Like, yes, it's really great to be in tune with your body and know your own patterns and your own schedule, but some moments it's just better to just go with the flow, listen to your body. It knows what to do to keep you alive, so allow it to. Number 5 is release the relationships, release the friendships, release the objects, and maybe release certain habits that don't serve you any longer or aren't going to serve you as you really try to embark on this food freedom journey. For me, that was a huge one as well. It meant a lot of friendships changed, my relationship changed, my environment, just the way it looked. It just caused me to really reevaluate what the things in my life mean to me, what energy they give me, and how much they serve me. And if I was finding that it was just draining me or not serving me in any way, maybe it was hard to accept, but I kind of had to accept that maybe it wasn't supposed to be in my life any longer, and that letting go of this one thing could open up a door to a new opportunity and for the new friendship to come in, because I'll just be that much more open and that much more free because I've released the things that were kind of weighing me down. And so that kind of goes into my 6th one of surrounding yourself with support and positive energy. Identify what doesn't resonate with you anymore, what things, what habits, what people, what products, what social media apps, like literally anything. You don't need to like cold turkey, like cut everything out of your life, but just think about it, write it down, just reflect on how things make you feel, and I feel like that process, it'll kind of naturally happen, at least it did for me in some cases, that those things will kind of fade out of your life, and then it leaves up all this room for new potential friends and habits and possibilities to come into your life that may be a much more positive thing than what was before. My next tip, my 7th tip, is to have an outlet. During my recovery and during just my journey of food freedom, there have been many moments where I just need an outlet. I need to vent, I need to scream, I need to cry, I need to laugh. Like, humans are very emotional, and I think trying to bottle it up is just a recipe for disaster. You can do it for so long, but our bodies aren't meant to hold up that much emotion, and so it will come out eventually. And I feel like just having an outlet throughout this process that you can go to, Whether it's a person, you know, that you could vent to, that you could talk to, or a partner, or a parent, or a sibling. But it could even be something if you're by yourself, like a journal, or writing in your notes app, writing down. You could do voice memos of just you talking it out, whatever you need to do. There's books you read to relax, but just whatever you do, don't let it fully distract you from the emotion, that you can't acknowledge it, because it's still very important to acknowledge how you're feeling. If you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or, you know, scared or anxious about the food or whatever is going on that day regarding your food freedom journey, it's really important to be open and aware of the emotions you're feeling and approach them with curiosity and not judgment. Number 8 is to find activities outside of food and your body that you enjoy. But just find things in life you enjoy doing that aren't related to food and body. Like, I understand working out and like exercising is a great stress relief. It is for me too. But being able to find activities outside of that have been really key for me, but also kind of much harder than I thought, coming from an eating disorder and having a brain that was so wrapped up in food and my body image and everything for so long. Thinking about doing something completely different was a lot harder than I felt like it should be, but that's okay. I kind of tried to just accept that that's where I was at, and if I could just do like 15 minutes of a different activity, I would feel proud of that. And soon that 15 minutes can turn into longer amount of times, and then you're just like, your brain is just not controlled and not being overtaken by food and body in those moments. For me, stuff on my computer, like graphic design stuff, drawing on my iPad, kind of editing photos, taking photos, curating my Instagram, like all those kind of really creative visual outlets have been sometimes negative when I get into like weird comparison modes with images. I've been really trying to get back into painting recently. Activities like that helped my food freedom journey, because those are moments where food is not controlling my mind. I'm just completely engrossed in what I'm doing. My 9th tip is to never ever base what you eat on how much you move or how much you work out. I come from having experienced being stuck in a mindset where I needed to view my body as a freaking like math formula. Like, I input this amount of food, so I need to export this amount of exercise in order for it to be like a net of 0 or something like that. Just, I don't even know. It makes no sense. I convinced myself it made sense, and diet culture will convince us it makes sense, but your body is not a math formula, and it's not a math equation. You can't import X and get out Y. It's just a living being, and all it's trying to do is keep you alive and keep you healthy and happy. And trying to twist it and mold it into something so rigid is just never going to end up with a happy body and a happy mind. My last tip for embarking on a food freedom journey is to question the should voice. We all have a voice in our head. A lot of the times, if you struggled with food and your body, that should voice is honestly the diet culture voice, and it's kind of the societal standard of what to look like, what to eat, how to work out, all of that. At least for me it is. Whenever I catch myself thinking like, oh, I should do this workout, or oh, I should eat this meal, you know, that's kind of disconnecting from like what I really want and what really serves me as my own independent person. Reshifting that should voice to, I want to do this workout and I want to eat this meal. Even just making that shift of that wording in your brain, that can make you realize whether it's actually something that resonates with you, or is it from an external source. Say you're trying to make a decision of what to make for dinner. If you're getting out ingredients and you're thinking like, oh, I should put this together because like that has veggies, and I saw this like Instagram influencer make this, like I should do the same. Okay, I'm an amateur YouTuber and didn't charge my battery before I started filming, so now I have to finish this on my phone. But as I was saying, there's nothing wrong with copying an influencer's dinner recipe or, you know, doing the same workout as someone. But if it's coming from a place of you saying, I should do this because of blank, like some external reason, or I should eat this because it's quote unquote healthy, or, you know, society's telling me it's good to eat. really just take a second and question why. And if you reframed and reworded that thought to, I want to eat this because fill in the blank of something that resonates with you, or I want to do this workout because fill in the blank with something that resonates with you, and it really does feel like it resonates with you, then yes, go ahead, do that workout, eat that thing, because you know that it's actually something you really enjoy, and it's not coming from a place of like you should be doing it to fit a certain standard, fit a certain look, anything like that. That is my final tip, just to notice that should voice when it's coming up in your brain and rewording it to I want, and kind of seeing if it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, that probably means you should do something else. Find something that really does resonate with you and really does make you actually happy and satisfied and fulfilled, rather than just doing it for some external reason. Comment down below any other tips you have or you've experimented with or have done and have had success with, just so we can start building a little community of helping each other and helping each other through recovery and just promoting positivity around food choices. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully my camera will not die next time. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.